Hey guys, how you doing? Just boxing up a few orders here, but what I was actually going to do today was do a video that shows you what's in that box. That's the next idea for the video. Unfortunately, for that to happen, the weather has to be like 10% nicer. So what I'm going to do today instead is kind of explain what it is I'm doing here. Why do I have this bubble wrap? Why do I have all this sealed Japanese product? And why are you even watching this channel to begin with? Now, some of you are probably already familiar with the fact that I'm treating Pokemon collecting as an asset class, but beyond that you may have some questions. Why I'm doing it on YouTube, what am I hoping to get out of all of this? These are all good questions. Hopefully by the end of this video I'll be able to give you some good answers. This bad boy's going straight to subgrade. First thing, why are you watching this video? Why am I wasting my time doing this? Well, to be completely honest, I built quite the following for myself on YouTube by doing content about other things, about my past life. I'm not going to go into my past life here. Those content videos are still available if you want to go look at them. However, I can't keep making content about that stuff, and it would be a shame to waste the following I've built up. So, naturally, I'm going to pivot. By continuing to do content for YouTube and connecting a store to my YouTube channel, I actually get some backwash from Google's SEO program, which promotes my webpage. Pretty much, this is the easiest way for me to monetize my social following in a way that doesn't involve doing advertisements or, selling hair loss pills or Blue Chew or whatever it is that people sell nowadays. I'm also not really interested in doing any kind of political content for a variety of reasons, so what's left? Pokemon. I've gone through before how this is something that's been part of my life since I came to Canada. I think 5 years after landing in this beautiful country, Pokemon came out, and that was a reason for me to make friends in the schoolyard and at recess. So yeah, I'm taking advantage of Google's ecosystem by making these videos and then moving you to a website that's probably going to be featured somewhere here, and that you might even see pop up on other videos because of the SEO. I've also made a longer video dedicated to this exact thing, but I do feel like Pokemon are an asset class in and of themselves, and approaching them as such makes me feel like an adult engaged in a children's hobby, which kind of lets me cope. Not only that, but speaking of politics, the entire geopolitical situation in the world right now is up in the air. Nobody knows what's gonna happen, least of all me. Pokemon is a form of escapism, yes, but it's also a Japanese product, and seeing as how I'm situated in Canada, we as Canadians might be in a really good space when it comes to Japanese Pokemon card collecting when you take into account the tariffs and the other turmoil that may be headed towards our friends south of the border. So when you combine the fact that it's an asset with the fact that it's escapism, I mean, that just makes sense to me to pursue it, which is why I've done it. Now, keep in mind that the money I'm making off YouTube is barely enough for me to even afford my Google One subscription for the year to make sure I have enough file space to save up all the images and assets I need to make these videos happen. This is still very much a hobby for me. But in my brief time in this hobby, I've loved exploring the community that comes from the TCG training and TCG collecting community. I love going to art shows, which means I love going to Pokemon shows. The cards are beautiful, whether you like it or not, and they may be worth a lot, but it's still a tangible piece of art you can add to your portfolio. I'm not gonna lie to you, this binder is pathetic right now. I've got like a couple pages filled in, but it's all stuff I've genuinely pulled and grabbed. This is a labor of love. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this a midlife crisis? And that's a fair question, especially considering I probably titled the video something along those lines, but the answer is no. I have a really nice life. I have a family I love, I have friendships I cherish, I have a job that keeps me challenged, and despite the fact that I look a little bit big, I find a lot of pleasure working out. It's bulk season right now, okay? Give me 2 months and I'm gonna slim right down. But no, it's not a midlife crisis. My job keeps me busy. If anything, this is more of an exploration into the world of crypto I got into when I was younger that has all but vanished. At least the world that existed for crypto anyway. If like me, you were 20-something when crypto was in its heyday around 2015, you probably played in the markets too. I made some money, I lost some money, but fundamentally, the thing that I loved about Bitcoin was that it was supposed to be a new currency. That dream is pretty much done. Everybody recognizes that crypto is just another store of value. It's like gold. It's not going to be the US dollar. And there's a whole generation of people who have only known crypto in that dimension. People who were born in the year 2018 who are turning 8 or 9 years old. They look at shitcoins or altcoins in the same way that other people look at Charmanders and RKS VMAX cards. Giratinas even. Tokenization is really what killed crypto. But the mindset that it instilled in people who were in crypto translates very easily onto crypto, and that's what's grafted onto my point of view and worldview as far as Pokemon goes. Also, if my midlife crisis was just collecting cardboard, I think that's pathetic. I at least want a motorcycle or something cool. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm the type of person who only learns things by doing them. I wish this was not the case. It would save me a lot of trouble and heartache over the ways. Just look at my previous videos to get an idea of why I would say that. But now I'm all in on Pokemon. Now, granted, I started off doing this because I saw a Whatnot stream. So naturally, I became a Whatnot streamer. Until I saw Whatnot charges streamers, then I said, you know what, let's open up an online shop instead, which is why I'm fulfilling orders while I'm making this video. I also have all of this available in case you wanted to peruse some of my wares. I am not somebody who has kept my cards since I was 9 years old and has a huge collection from which to draw from. I just got into this in January, but like I said, I jumped in with both feet. I got the store. I'm gonna go back on Whatnot once I figure out my pricing model a little bit better. And I got some cards out for PSA grading right now, so we'll see how that eventually ends. Sudbury. Listen, I'm not setting out on this hobby with any goals to hit or any metrics or ROIs or anything like that. I'm new to this, but I'm also trying to learn as I go. I want to be a part of the community. A lot of the people that I've met at card shows so far have been really cool, and a lot of people I've met during Pokemon Go times have been also cool, but a little more antisocial. Cards definitely have a better community in Pokemon, that's for sure. The other thing about it too is everybody's hustling. Everybody has access to the same tools. You can go on eBay Marketplace or Facebook Marketplace or TCG Marketplace. You can see exactly how much a card that you're holding in your hand is worth at any given time. Okay? Long gone are the days of grandma's got a yard sale and her grandson has this binder full of cards and she just doesn't know what it's worth, but she'll say $20 for the whole thing. That's done. Everybody's a hustler who's in this sport. Am I a scalper? I don't really identify as that, but I feel like that word gets thrown around way too loosely in the community anyway. If you buy a bunch of packs and rip them and get a chase card and then sell that chase card, you're no different than the person who's actually holding on to sealed products for a long time, sorry to say. Do I wish that I never sold my binder? Absolutely. I remember pulling a base set Charizard from the Aurora toy shop back when I was like 12. I still vividly have that tactile memory of pulling that card. But that's gone, that's not coming back. Like I've said before, it may feel like we're at the peak of the market here, but we have so much more space to go because we have this season that's still not done, Scarlet and Violet. Plus, when Pokemon turns 30, you can guarantee they've got something big coming. Not to mention that I'm pretty sure Pokemon's going to be part of our life in a way that we're going to be kind of uncomfortable with in the next 30 years. So might as well hop on board now. Now, obviously, I do have a website and I have a store that I want to drive traffic to. I'm not going to be coy about that, but I'm also going to be very honest about this other thing. The real name of the game here for me is content creation. Collecting cards is fun, don't get me wrong. They're cute, the art is fun, it's a tangible product. But really, if I can pivot this YouTube channel to be a Pokemon YouTube channel, that's a W in my books. As you can see, the channel is inspired by Gary Oak, the very first villain that you meet on your Pokemon journey and arguably the strongest rival you'll have. That's my inspiration, and I have a lot of really good content ideas around that and around just treating Pokemon as an asset class. There's so many cases of market manipulation. Heck, I want to get in on the fun. I want to manipulate some markets too. Why not me? And not to give it away, but that's actually what this box is all about. We're going to be doing some market manipulation based on what's in here. I'm not going to tell you what that is yet. And yeah, I'm not a scalper because I rip for fun. Is my binder full? No, absolutely not, but it's full of cards that I like. Mostly SARs. I've also come to realize that the difference between SAR and SIR is Japanese or English. And the way that I remember is actually kind of racist, so I'm not going to be explaining it in this video because that's the other thing about Pokemon content. It's all ages. But no, I'm not a scalper. I'm not playing the same game everybody else is. I know that there's so much Pokemon content that you can listen to, so why would you listen to me? Because I'm trying to mix it up. Yeah, I got some sealed products, but I've opened up about like 5 of these bad boys looking for a hunt chase card. And I got 3, sent them out to PSA, and that's the way I'm going to figure out how the whole PSA grading system works and whether or not it's worth it. I jump in with both feet. So if you're following this and you made it this far, might as well jump in with both feet with me. Anyway guys, my name's Gary Grindset. Don't forget, life is like a booster pack. It's not about pulling your ultimate chase card. It's about having the courage to rip open pack after pack until you find what you're looking for, and never giving up. Because guess what? That chase card is just around the corner. Just gotta open up a couple more packs. Just a couple more packs.